Whether you're new to quilting or advanced, these scrap coasters are a quick project that make a great gift and can be put together in less than an hour. These are also great for beginners because you get to practice your quilting skills without committing to a actual full blanket or quilt. You could do any design you want. I made mine to be 5.5 inches finished, so I started by digging out some scraps and cutting them down into 2.5-inch squares. Once I had enough to make 6 coasters, I started putting them together. If you wanted to make a set of 4, you would need 36 2.5-inch squares. Or for a set of 6, you would need 54. Basically, you just need 9 for each coaster you want to make. I made 6 because we're always losing some somehow. Then I just started chain piecing them together and making 3 rows of 3 for each coaster I had. So I had a bunch of these rows of 3 squares. Then I pressed them and started putting the rows together so that each square ended up with 9 of these 2.5-inch squares. If you wanted to make yours a little smaller than 5.5 inches finished, you could do like 2.25-inch squares or whatever you prefer. You could even do a completely different design and then just follow the rest of my directions. Once I had all the tops of my coasters ready, I got out a big piece of batting that I had left over from a different project. I sprayed it down with basting spray and then actually put all 6 of these on there at once. You could also cut down 6-inch squares of batting separately if you have smaller scraps and do it that way. I just found this was easiest for the quilting portion. After I had them basted onto this batting, I actually quilted them before adding the back of the coaster, but you could definitely skip this part and then quilt at the end. It is up to you how you want to do this. After quilting, I went ahead and cut these apart and then trimmed them down to be 6 inches each. Now it is time to put on the back. I have these 6-inch squares of the backing fabric and I'm going to place them right sides together so that top quilted piece and the backing piece right sides together. If you have not quilted yet and you're quilting at the end, you would just place them still in this order with the batting on top and then right sides together, the 2 pieces of fabric. Then I'm going to sew around the entire border and leave a gap open. The gap I left is about 2 inches. Then I'm going to trim the corners down a little bit so it's less bulky for when I turn it, and then I'm going to turn it right sides out. And then all we have left to do is kind of tuck in where that part is that we turned it and then top stitch around the entire border. I did an 1/8 inch away, and here you could add in more quilting if you wanted, if you did not quilt at the part that I did. And that is it. You have a whole set of coasters. These would be an amazing housewarming gift for a friend, or even make a bunch of these for Christmas parties or hostess gifts. I love having these around the house.